You're watching ABC7 News at 11.
Good evening. We begin tonight with breaking news out of Manatee County, where sheriff's deputies are investigating human remains found in a Palmetto neighborhood. A man walking through a field at the corner of Palmview Road and Canal Road discovered them earlier this afternoon. Detectives confirmed that the remains are human, but it's not yet known if it's a male or a female or how they got there. People who live in that neighborhood are shocked to hear about that discovery.
Obviously, you're very concerned and you want to know more about it and how it happened. And I don't really feel scared or unsafe, but just glad that someone's here looking into it, and we're going to keep our ears open.
The Manatee County Sheriff's Office is continuing their investigation. We will keep you updated on this story as it develops. A Bradenton woman believes coyotes are to blame for the recent death of her 4 dogs. It all happened in a West Bradenton neighborhood just 2 blocks away from Manatee Technical College's West Campus and less than a mile away from IMG Academy. ABC7's Rick Adams spoke to the victim today and joins us live in the studio. Rick, what did you learn tonight?
Yeah, Jacqueline, this is a dog owner's worst nightmare. Christy Young and her husband are trying to cope with all this. She reached out to us to warn others. We do warn you, some of the images may be graphic, so look out for it. Christy Young and her husband will never forget. Sunday afternoon, they came home to discover their 4 miniature pinscher dogs dead. 3 of their bloodied bodies were found spread out in the backyard, while the other one was discovered inside their home. Young believes it could be the work of a coyote.
It was horrifying. It was horrific. It's like I just lost it. I was hysterical. It was just the worst feeling I could ever imagine. It was just the worst sight you could see.
The dogs range in age from 6 to 10 years old, and they have access to the backyard through their doggy door. It appears all 4 of the dogs were attacked in the backyard, with one of them making it back into the home, dying inside. This is video of a coyote that was spotted less than 5 miles away from their home near Church in Bradenton.
From the marks, you know, it looks like a dog bite that got the little ones by the neck, so we're assuming it's a coyote.
Wildlife expert Justin Matthews says we're seeing coyotes around even in congested areas because of all the development. He tells us that unfortunately we could see more and more incidents like this, and he's urging people to be extra careful when they're outside with a pet or even children.
If you see a coyote, all you got to do is start yelling like crazy and throw your arms up, and then they'll take off.
Young says that even some cats have gone missing around the neighborhood. There's hope that the animal responsible for these deaths will be captured. Now all that's left for the Youngs are memories and the graves of their dogs buried in their backyard.
We still trying to cope with it and deal with it. It's still kind of hard because it's still emotional for both me and my husband to get up in the morning, and you know, they used to sleep with us.
Yeah, such a sad story there. And if you do spot a coyote, you're being asked to call the authorities or animal control immediately. Jacqueline, back to you.
All right, Rick, thank you. Sarasota police need your help to identify a burglary suspect who broke into Selby Botanical Gardens. Take a look at this surveillance footage. You can see the man rummaging through a cooler, removing and eating a sandwich, opening a jug of milk and drinking it, and then taking cash from the cafe's register. It's not known how he got into the building in the middle of the night, but police think he is about 30 years old and are hoping someone will recognize him. If you can help, call Crime Stoppers at 366-TIPS. Well, let's check in now with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan. Bob?
Thanks, Jacqueline. We are looking at 71 degrees right now. It was great weather for all the trick-or-treaters out there. We have clear skies and east to southeast winds at 10. The pressure continues to rise right now. It's at 30-11, and the dew point temperature, not bad, 61. That's comfortable. Look for a warm and a little bit breezier day on Thursday, and it looks like a good chance for some rain on Friday, mainly in the afternoon and evening, though, it looks like. And then Sunday, we'll have more chances for rainfall as a result of the front coming back northward as a warm front. So this front is going to be a fast hitter and then come back pretty quick, too. Right now, that front is causing all sorts of problems now in the lower Mississippi Valley, where there have been numerous tornado warnings and there's still tornado watches up. Just an explosion of storms there. It looks like all this energy associated with this will move to our north. We will have a chance, though, for a few thunderstorms here. Looks like late on Friday, and then again, we could see some showers as well lingering into Friday night. But for the time being, that high pressure over the southeast is starting to erode and head off to the east of our area. Right now, skies are generally fair overhead, and that's the way they will stay through the overnight hours. It should be a nice start tomorrow. We'll have much more in our forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Jacqueline?
All right, Bob, thank you. We'll talk to you soon. The investigation continues tonight into a tragic accident in Venice involving a car and 4 bike riders. Those 4 bicyclists were left in critical condition after they were hit by a car close to the intersection of Center Road and Rockley Boulevard. Now it is legal for bicyclists to ride in the street in their designated bike lane or as close to the right-hand curb as possible. But there are some exceptions to the rules, like when a bike rider tries to pass a slower vehicle or another cyclist, if they are trying to avoid an obstacle in the road, or if they are going to make a left-hand turn. In that case, they would have to cross into the vehicle lanes as close to an intersection as possible, or when vehicles are stopped at a red light.
I hope people are aware of this, and I hope that they understand the importance of safety for everyone. Bicycle safety for bicyclists, but also for drivers. I'm sure it's the most horrifying thing for that woman to realize what's happened.
The riders are all in critical condition at Sarasota Memorial Hospital, and all 4 of them were members of the Coastal Cruisers Bicycle Club. Their president tells us they were highly trained and travel all over the world to ride, and he still cannot understand what could have gone wrong. While the Florida Highway Patrol says it seems like these 4 riders may have veered from the bike lane into the path of a car coming up from behind, that accident is still under investigation. The city of Sarasota is doing its part to fight against red tide with a new stormwater runoff treatment system. That system, which is called a baffle box, is designed to capture and store organic matter, nutrients, and nitrogen before it leaks into Sarasota Bay. The system was installed in August and will be cleaned every 3 months. City staff will then dispose of that debris properly. The city hopes this will help prevent red tide blooms from growing.
We know that nitrogen and phosphorus and nutrients prolong and worsen red tide events, and so this is a way that this is the city doing their part and trying to prevent those nutrients from getting into the water and worsening red tide.
This device is expected to remove almost 100,000 pounds of silt and debris that would normally end up in Sarasota Bay. Helicopters will be flying over parts of Manatee County next week. Florida Power and Light plans to use choppers for a project to replace fiber cable on transmission structures that span the Manatee River east of I-75. The company does not anticipate any power outages as a result of this project. An update now on a potential cancer cluster at Bayshore High School. Manatee County health experts are trying to determine if tainted soil caused former students to have a higher rate of cancer and autoimmune diseases. Last December, the health department began accepting surveys from people who believe that they fell victim to cancer because of contaminants at the school. Nearly 250 surveys were submitted. Now health officials and the school district are working to process those forms. The health department says once the analysis is complete, the results will be shared with the public. Tonight, there are new changes at the top of the newly formed Sarasota County School District Police Force. The district announced today a shift in leadership and a reassignment of the newly appointed police chief, Paul Grahowski. The Sarasota Schools Superintendent says the departure of the district's head of security brought on this significant change, bringing in Sarasota County Sheriff's Office Captain Timothy Enos, who has ties with the district.
He is a school resource officer through and through, so whether he's an employee of the Sheriff's Department or he's an employee of the school district, he's the right man to lead our department.
Enos will have the month of November to transition into his new role. Suggestions are now being taken for the renaming of Johnson Wakeland School in Manatee County. The school board initiated the renaming process during a meeting last week. Name nominations can be sent by email or they can be mailed or delivered to the Manatee County School District headquarters. You can also submit your nominations during a town hall meeting on November 14th. Sarasota County Schools announcing that their digital town hall has been rescheduled for next Thursday, the 8th, from 7 to 8 p.m. The focus will be on mental and behavioral health, with many topics geared toward how to better provide care for Sarasota's children and families. You can join in on that conversation in real time through the school district's Facebook and Twitter. If you have any questions, you're being asked to send them ahead of time to the email on the bottom of your screen there. The American Jewish Committee, and the Jewish Federation of Sarasota Manatee is calling on the Suncoast community to flock to synagogues this weekend. The Show Up for Shabbat initiative was launched after the horrific attack at Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh last Saturday, which left 11 Jewish worshipers dead and another 6 injured. The goal: to fill synagogues in a demonstration of solidarity and unity against anti-Semitism and hate. The largest public photo exhibit in North America is coming here to Sarasota. The Fence will be at Nathan Benderson Park starting this weekend until the end of January. The traveling attraction draws more than 6 million visitors each year through open-air exhibits. Each photo series has a thematic connection or tells a story, and the 7-year-old project works to promote a wider understanding of the art of photography. That event is free and features work from around the world. Stay with us. Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your first alert forecast. Plus, we're less than a week away from the midterm election. How the candidates for Florida governor are gathering some last-minute support. And President Trump in Florida tonight, what he had to say during a rally in Fort Myers.
Parkinson's disease is trying to slow us down, but we are strong because we are together. So let's go. Let's reach. Let's fight. Let's move. The Parkinson's Foundation is making life better for people with Parkinson's disease. And now it's time for you to join the movement. Moving Day is here, and we are counting on you. Sign up to walk, because people who move change the world.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
Our overall experience working with California Closets was phenomenal.
Calm, reassuring.
Through happenstance, we ended up paired with our designer, Jen. She was someone who not only was patient, someone who was professional. She's become extended family.
She had great insight to help direct me towards those things that could make our dreams come true.
We are the Greens, and this is our California Closet story.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
ABC7 is the most watched, most trusted news source on the Suncoast, and we owe it all to you, our loyal viewers. Thank you for making us #1.
Well, Bob, I'm glad to see you found your body back.
Yes,
your
earlier at 6 o'clock, I lost my body. Nice orange too today for Halloween.
Yeah.
We saw a nice night too for all the trick-or-treaters out there as well, and it's going to stay that way overnight. No problems with rainfall, and I think Thursday will remain pretty much rain-free. So. But keep your umbrellas nearby. We're going to need them. Here's what's happening with the sunset tonight. Vanway's a webcam showing a lot of sunshine out there throughout the afternoon and just a few clouds now and again. And boy, it was really nice. And all the orange that you saw right there, just right in time with Halloween. And photos sent in, those two showing that nice orange sky there on Siesta. Lynn Shepard getting that photo. And this one from the Daiquiri Deck, V. Klee from South Siesta. And Sarasota Bay, Norm Schimmel getting another nice shot looking over Sarasota Bay. Always want to show you this. If you haven't seen the news lately, you got to fall back 1 hour. That's before you go to bed on Saturday, or if you're up at Sunday early, you can turn it back as well. But just make sure that when you go to sleep there, either Saturday night or Sunday morning, turn that clock back an hour. That means sunset will be also earlier. I mean, this is around 5:46, 5:48 or so. Here's what's happening now with Titan radar, showing a lot of heavy, rough weather over parts of the lower Mississippi Valley tonight. Severe weather, tornadoes as well, and tornado warnings and watches are still up over parts of Louisiana, all the way stretching into Arkansas tonight. We have one spot here. The warning just expired. There's a severe thunderstorm warning taking place right now just northeast of Lake Charles as that storm heads off to the east. Here's the model. All that rough weather basically takes off to the north with the low pressure area. Now we'll watch this line as it approaches. Thursday looks good. There's a chance for some late day showers Thursday, mainly inland, pushing off to the east. The front gets down close to us late Thursday night and then just kind of sits there for a while. We'll eventually see another area of low pressure developing over the southeast, which will swing that front our way. Most of the Friday looks like morning anyway. Looks to be okay. Friday afternoon, late evening, possibility of showers and thunderstorms. This particular model indicating a little bit more intense storms, so we'll keep an eye on that. But right now, I'm not anticipating any severe weather for Friday afternoon or evening. Dew point temperatures will start to go back up into the mid to upper 60s by tomorrow evening. And that means a warmer low overnight temperature is expected on Thursday night and Friday. Tomorrow looks good. Partly cloudy skies expected. Temperatures warming into the mid 80s and no real threat of any significant rainfall. We may see a few isolated showers. This is another model showing you that timing of the front. As I mentioned, a slight chance for a few showers on Thursday. Friday looks good in the morning as the front approaches, and then Friday late afternoon and evening is when we expect to get some rainfall from this. Now we have to watch this front. What's going to happen is it's going to park to the south and then work its way back northward as a warm front. As another area of low pressure develops, it'll kind of attach itself to it. So Sunday could be a little wet, and we could see some light to moderate showers as it moves to the north. And another front comes down. So we're in this very fast, progressive pattern right now that we're seeing these fronts move through. They're not very strong, but they're strong enough to cool us down a little bit on Saturday, and you'll see that in the 7-day forecast. 71 right now. We have clear skies and east to southeast winds at 10. The high today, it warmed up to 86. 2 days in a row, we've been well above the average, although it didn't feel too bad because the humidity was low. This morning's low was pretty close to average. As far as the national satellite picture goes, a lot of cold air over the northern plains states. You can see that low starting to really get organized here over Kansas and Arkansas and Missouri. This is going to push basically to the northeast, and that's where most of the rough weather will be. It will kind of follow that low pressure area. Temperatures in the 40s and 50s over the Great Lakes. Minot, North Dakota at 33. Denver at 34 degrees. Highs tomorrow will be warming up in the southeast, but much cooler over the northern plains and throughout the Great Lakes, but they're fairly seasonal for this time of year. East winds turn to the southeast at 15 knots tomorrow, so a bit breezier for boaters. Seas will be running 2 to 3 feet with a moderate chop on the bays and inland waters. So I'll put a slight chance in for us tomorrow. A little bit more cloudiness around than we've seen. Showers and storms 60% mainly in the late afternoon and evening, lingering into Saturday morning, and then a slight chance for a few morning showers on Saturday morning, and then a 70% chance midday showers and evening showers on Sunday. And look for warmer temperatures after that, a slight chance for showers on Election Day. Jacqueline?
All right, thank you, Bob. We're less than a week away from the general election, and President Trump is back in Florida tonight rallying support for Republican gubernatorial candidate Ron DeSantis. He addressed the shooting at a Pittsburgh synagogue over the weekend and also launched into an attack on the media, saying they focused on protesters far from where he was instead of the first steps he and the First Lady took in the healing process. Governor Rick Scott also made an appearance, praised Trump, and also attacked his opponent, Senator Bill Nelson. Meanwhile, the Florida gubernatorial candidates are also making some last-minute campaign stops around the state. Ron DeSantis stopping here on the Sun Coast earlier this morning at Dolphin Aviation in Sarasota. He pointed out what he calls stark differences between him and his opponent, Democrat Andrew Gillum, saying he supports the military and officers, claiming that Gillum does not. And hundreds of people gathered to hear from Gillum in Pensacola today. He encouraged people to get out and vote and also spoke about a wide range of topics, including education, global warming and climate change, Medicaid, and gun reform. Gillum had support from different groups, including a crowd of veterans. Well, there are 3 proposals on the November ballot that could make tax-related changes to the state constitution. Among them is Amendment 5, which would make it tougher for future lawmakers to raise taxes by requiring 2/3 votes in both the state House and the Senate to increase taxes or fees instead of the current law, which requires a simple majority. The League of Women Voters and the Florida Education Association oppose Amendment 5, arguing that during an economic crisis, that proposal would tie the hands of lawmakers who may need additional revenue to fund government services.
You have to be able to have some wiggle room. You have to have some outlet to do something as a state and provide for those in need.
To be added to the state constitution, that proposal requires 60% support from voters. Well, another suspicious package discovered in South Florida today, this time at the Miami-Dade Democratic Party's office. The bomb squad called in to investigate, and at least 1 floor of that building was evacuated. The package comes after several pipe bomb packages were mailed to Democratic figures last week. A suspect was taken into custody in connection to those incidents, but it is still unclear if this one is also related. Well, stay with us. Consumer News is coming up next, but first, here's what's coming up on Jimmy Kimmel.
It's Kimmel's Halloween Spectacular 70s style.
Didn't anyone tell you that we're dressing up tonight?
With John Stamos.
Up your nose with a rubber hose.
Emily Ratajkowski and the Half and Half Halloween pageant.
Is this going to take long?
Jimmy Kimmel Live. Ooh, tonight on ABC.
Blue 32, Blue 32, hot, hot. It's the Ghetto Gridiron Challenge. The game's on to sell 2,000 vehicles. 12 teams compete for the #1 spot. Score a great deal at every Ghetto dealership. Buy with 0 down. Make no payments for 90 days. Choose from 14 of your favorite brands, all on sale. Who will make it to the end zone? You decide. Rush to a Ghetto location near you or visit Ghetto.com.
Ghetto's got it. Being empowered starts with getting informed, looking closer. 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer in her lifetime. But many of us don't know there are different types of breast cancer with different characteristics. That was me. Learning about the specifics of my diagnosis gave me the confidence to make informed treatment decisions with my doctor. This meant everything to me and my family. So take another look. Ask another question. Learn more at notonetype.org.
Many websites selling medication may look professional and legitimate, but the vast majority of sites selling prescription drugs are doing so illegally. Criminals use websites to sell counterfeit medications that may contain life-threatening toxins. Dot Pharmacy is a website verification program that helps you identify safe and trustworthy online pharmacies. Purchasing medicine online can be safe and easy. Just look for pharmacy to the right of the dot in website addresses.
All hands on deck. What's up? I want to point out 3 tips for using the home computer more safely. Point away.
First, stop. Make sure your software is up to date and that you've password protected your computer's login and Wi-Fi connection.
Next, think before visiting a site, opening attachments, or clicking on links.
Then connect, knowing you're helping make the web safer for you
and for everyone. Make Stop, Think, Connect part of your daily online routine.
You are the best protection she has. Buddy up.
I'm Jill Harrington. Please visit helpsavethenextgirl.com and get involved.
To be able to just get my son here and not think about how we will pay for it, it just takes so much weight off of my family. St. Jude allowed me to focus on being a mom to Bryce. And sometimes I'm just in awe of the impact St. Jude has, not only on this community, but the world.
In consumer news tonight, an Orlando man is suing Tesla. Sean Hudson says the autopilot feature of his Tesla Model S car failed to detect a disabled car on a highway, which led to a crash that left him with permanent injuries. He says Tesla lulls drivers into a false sense of security that the cars can drive themselves when that autopilot function is being used. But when there's danger on the road, drivers have no time to react.
When you trust that vehicle, and you know, I mean, I was sold, and I very little pay attention. You know, I mean, I'm paying attention half the time of what I used to.
Hudson says he suffers pain from a fractured vertebrae and also has some cognitive problems since that accident 2 weeks ago on the Florida Turnpike. A spokesperson for Tesla has responded to that lawsuit, saying there is no reason to believe the autopilot feature malfunctioned and that drivers should always maintain control of the vehicle when using that autopilot function. Starting today, Uber users in Los Angeles will have access to a new safety feature that not only calls 911, but tells police exactly where you are. That new feature is in partnership with the LA Police Department. You already have the option to call 911 from the app, but that new feature, the operator will also get key pieces of information about your location and the car you're in. Some of the info it will also send includes your license plate, car make and model, and location.
If you're in an Uber and you're visiting the city, you obviously don't know where your location is, and this is something that is important to the visiting public in Los Angeles.
There's no word yet on whether this feature might expand outside of LA. After the devastation caused by Hurricane Michael and red tide, the state is now working to bring tourists back to Florida. This week, Visit Florida approved an almost $9 million marketing campaign. It will address the hurricane and red tide issues and also protect the state's brand by stressing what is open across the state. Tomorrow, the agency is expected to go live with a new website that will help tourists plan their vacations. The agency has also been using Facebook to post videos of parts of the Panhandle that were not impacted by Hurricane Michael. That's a look at consumer news. We'll have your winning lotto numbers when we come back.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Imagine a world filled with pillow fights, playgrounds, and the search for the perfect climbing tree. Every kid deserves that world, but 1 in 5 kids in America struggle with hunger. At No Kid Hungry, we're committed to creating a world where every kid eats healthy food every day. We raise funds, we help families, and we lift up communities.
The body, it is a work of art and a powerful ally in the fight against cancer. A new approach called immunotherapy works by helping our immune system correctly identify and eradicate many types of cancer cells. Speak with your doctor and visit su2c.org/immunotherapy to learn more. Your body might just be your greatest hope.
My name is Blake. I received a heart transplant when I was 2 weeks old. I play defense for the Red Hot Tornadoes. Sometimes my heart starts pounding like faster and faster as I go. I know I have someone else's heart inside me. It makes me feel happy because someone was generous enough to give me a second chance to live.
This gift of life was made possible by an organ donor. Imagine what you could make possible. Sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov.
The Florida Lottery winning numbers are sponsored by Frontier Fios.
Well, here at ABC7, we like to have fun on Halloween as well, so we all dressed up in costumes. There are some of our reporters and producers and photographers dressing up as me, Bob, and Scott. We've got Alice in Wonderland there, some Minions. Full-blown costumes, though, this time around this year was just really impressive with the amount of people that showed up with some costumes. We got a dead bride there, and here we have a lucky leprechaun. I don't know who that is. Who are you?
You know, I came in too today, and a lot of people, I didn't say a word. People didn't know who it was.
Yeah.
They thought it was just someone coming off the street.
Well, who would have known? Until you talk, though, then we hear you. Well, thanks so much for joining us tonight. We'll see you right back here.